Welcome to Thoughts Can Change Your Life with me, Reverend Lee. Here we go again, talking about how to have the most incredible life. And if you're going to have the most incredible life, you cannot believe that by you having that life, you are depriving anyone of anything. Are you getting what I'm saying there? Because it's real important to understand that your thoughts, your thought atmosphere creates your experience. So if you have a thought atmosphere of being really healthy and you're really healthy, are you depriving anyone else of their health? No. If you have a thought atmosphere that you're in a great loving relationship and your relationship is absolutely bliss, are you depriving anyone else of them having a relationship like that? No. If you have thought atmosphere of being abundant and having more than enough money to do whatever it is you want, when you want, and how you want, are you depriving anyone else? No. Why? Because everyone on the planet is responsible for their own mental atmosphere. What happens, though, is that most people do not understand the concept. So most people's mental atmospheres are not something that they've created. It's something that has been, unfortunately, or fortunately, neither way, I'm not going to judge it. It's what they were born into. Most people have the thought atmosphere of their mom and dad, or the society they live in. So the thought atmosphere where I was brought up in Dearborn, Michigan, at the time I was brought up, is very different than I've been brought up in Lebanon. It's very different than I've been brought up in South Africa. It would be very different if I'd been brought up in Russia or the Ukraine. It would be very different if I was brought up in Egypt or Israel or Thailand or Vietnam. Because the atmosphere that you are brought into has a predominant impact on how you think. Why? Because when you are from 0 to 7, your brain is in theta state. It's blindly believing and accepting everything that it hears. So there's no discernment. So the atmosphere that I was brought up in was an upper white, I said it, white, socioeconomic atmosphere. Even though my father was a fireman, my mother was an immigrant, was illiterate, didn't go back to school and get her high school degree till her 40s. And then went and got a college degree in nursing. But I was brought up in an atmosphere, not like my mom and dad were brought up in, because they crossed the game. Because they got out of the Polish ghetto, the Italian ghetto, they married, they had to move out, so they went to Dearborn. So the blessing for me was I wasn't brought up in Hamtramck. I wasn't brought up in Detroit. Because Hamtramck and Detroit, while close to Dearborn, had different mental atmospheres. So why am I fortunate? I don't have any idea. But I bless it and I give thanks for it. But here's the key thing. My brother and I were brought up in the same mental atmosphere. And we had different experiences, completely different experiences. Why? Because we believe differently. And we come back to this simple concept that we teach in and out at Agape. And I think it's at the base of all spirituality and all religion. And that is, it is done unto you as you believe. So when you start to understand that your beliefs create your experience, how do your beliefs deprive anyone? Unless that person lets you. They turn their creative power over to you. And let me ask you this question. Why would you do that? Why would you give your creative power over to anyone else in the planet? Anyone else? I don't give a hoot if it's the Dalai Lama, the president, the king, the queen. Why would you give your power over? Because they don't have a clue as to who you are. They don't know what your heart wants. Hell, most people don't know what their own heart wants because they've never sat down and had a conversation with themselves. Yeah, you heard me. I'm asking you to talk to yourself. I'm asking you to talk to that higher power in you, that heart-centered power in you, and asking, what is it that you want to experience? How do you want to experience greater love, greater abundance? Is ego an extension of your persona? Well, your ego is your persona. What is your ego? It's what you believe about yourself. It's the way you think. It's your mental atmosphere that's coming out. You're seeing my persona right here based on what I believe I am. Is it who I am? No. It's an expression of what I'm believing at this time. The truth of who I am is, here's what I know. I'm awareness. I'm a point of awareness because I see things, feel things, sense things, hear things through a perspective, but I am aware that that is happening. That's the one thing I know about me. Everything else, I'm making up. Everything else, you're making up. That's why you get 5 people together, watch the same event, hear the same sounds, and everyone has a completely different experience. You ever get that? You wonder why you're with someone. Let's say you're dating and you go on a date. You have one experience, they have another. You go, what happened here? Why didn't you see it the same way I did? Because they can't. Because they come from a different mental atmosphere. They were brought up differently. When you can find people that are vibrating at a frequency like you, in other words, people for me that are seeking to grow, to expand, to experience greater love. People are seeking health, wealth, abundance, great relationships. People, get this one, who think outside of the box. That's a big thing, to think outside of the box. In reality, you should be thinking, and there is no box. Because if you think about this, there's an infinite world out there. And that infinite world doesn't know what the word box means. But we humans, and I'll come back to our persona, our personality, try to put ourselves in boxes. Don't we? I'm the box of, I'm the white male. You might be the box, I'm the white female, the black male. You might be an Indian male, an Indian female. You might be an Asian. Whatever it is, it's a box. It's not who you are. Boxes, think about this, boxes limit you. It's your own thinking about being in a box that deprives you of wealth, health, and happiness. You do create the box, McBride, no doubt about it. And so Blossom. Tribe. Yeah, I guess I could go along with the idea of a tribe, but I'd have to know more about you and what you believe a tribe is. Is it limited? Is it expansive? Do you have to follow their rules to be a part of it? Because a lot of times when you talk about a tribe is, well, we've got a belief system and you've got to fit into that belief system. That's one of the things I love so much about the Agape Spiritual Center is we have people from all over the world, people who are just seeking to expand, and we're very, 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 very different. And I absolutely love it. I love it because everyone I meet is stimulating me to be a greater me, because I get to see all of their expressions and they're different than mine. And I get to pick and choose. It's like I'm in a candy store picking out which jelly bean, 1,000,000 flavors of jelly beans. Which jelly bean do I want? For me, a tribe is people who are free thinkers, expansive thinkers. And we feed off each other and creating bigger and better and greater and wider and faster and all that. People who accept each other as they are. Yeah, Blossom, you just read my mind. That's what love is. Love is accepting people as they are, accepting you as they are. In my book, I say this: love is the acceptance and awareness of our wholeness. The acceptance and awareness of our wholeness. And that's where it starts with you. It always starts with you. And you loving yourself will never deprive anyone else of anything. You just expand the possibility for them because you become an example. My friends, that's my message today. I do a Saturday healing at 10 a.m. Central Time. If you are interested in being one of my healees, send me an email and I'll get you on the list. I think I have one slot open for this Saturday. We do 3 people each Saturday. Even if you are not wanting a healing, participate with me. You can't give without receiving. Why not give love? Why not become a greater expression of love? My email address, rev.leewallach@gmail.com. Just look up Lee Wallach. You'll find me everywhere. If you've got me on this podcast, you know who I am. But know something. I am seeking to be more abundant, more healthy, more happy, more incredible relationships. And I will never deprive you of having even more than me because your beliefs create. Mine only work for me. With that, make it a great day because only you can. Aloha.